The moment the divorce papers were signed, I looked at Ava's cold face and felt a strange sense of calm. A 3-year marriage, over just like that. The house is yours. We split the savings, she said, her voice like ice. My flight to Austin is this afternoon. Good luck. I just nodded, saying nothing. Outside the courthouse, a light rain began to fall. I stood on the steps and watched her get into a black sedan. Behind the wheel was Chris, her project partner. My phone rang. It was my buddy Mark. Hey Ethan, drinks tonight? Can't. I have to move. After hanging up, I called a van service. 3 years of my life didn't even fill half the truck. The driver saw me hauling everything alone and offered to help. Moving into a new place, man. Something like that, I said with a wry smile. At 8 o'clock that night, I was sitting in a rental apartment with a frozen pizza on the table. The neon lights of Chicago flickered outside, a vibrant city that no longer held a home for us. Just as I was about to turn in, the doorbell rang. I opened it to find a woman in professional attire standing there, holding a thermos. Are you Ethan Clark? She pushed her glasses up. I'm Sarah Jenkins, your upstairs neighbor. The landlord mentioned you just moved in today. I made some soup. Thought you might like some. I was stunned to find this kind of warmth in a strange new city. Thanks, but don't worry about it. It's what neighbors do, she said, pressing the thermos into my hands before turning to leave. I stood there holding the still steaming chicken soup, a mix of emotions swirling inside me. The next morning, I brought the cleaned-out thermos upstairs. I knocked for a while, but there was no answer. As I was about to leave, the woman from the next apartment poked her head out, looking for Sarah. Sweetie? She left for the office ages ago. Always the first one there. I left the thermos by her door with a sticky note. Thanks for the soup. It was delicious. In the days that followed, I started my job hunt. 3 years ago, I'd given up a great opportunity in a bigger city for Ava. Starting over now wasn't easy. I sent out countless applications and interviewed with over a dozen companies, all of which turned me down because of the gap in my work history. A month later, my bank account was down to $3,000. Late one night, as I sat at my computer tweaking my resume, the doorbell rang again. It was Sarah, this time holding a dish of lasagna. I may weigh too much. Figured I'd share. I can't keep. Hey, we're neighbors. Don't be a stranger. She set the lasagna on my table and glanced at my laptop screen. Job hunting. I nodded. She leaned in for a closer look. You're in digital marketing. What a coincidence. My company's hiring. You should apply. Seriously. Of course. Bring your resume by tomorrow. We're in the loop. And just like that, I started working at Sarah's company, a small but growing content creation studio. The vibe was great. On my first day, everyone was friendly. At lunchtime, they invited me to join them in the break room. So, Ethan, where'd you work before this? Asked Leo, a young intern. A small firm back in my hometown, I said vaguely. Sarah smoothly cut in for me. That's all in the past. What matters is now. Ethan is incredibly talented. You all could learn a lot from him. I settled into the job, and the projects I managed got great feedback. My boss was pleased, and after 3 months, he gave me a raise. One weekend, the company organized a team-building retreat at a lakeside resort in Wisconsin. That night, as we were having a barbecue, Sarah sat down next to me. You've been here almost 6 months now. How's it going? It's been great. Thank you again for recommending me. She smiled. That was all you. By the way, are you married? I hesitated for a second. Divorced. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. It's fine. It's in the past. The bonfire cast a warm glow on her face, and for the first time, I noticed she had 2 small dimples when she smiled. On the bus back to the city, Sarah fell asleep next to me, her head resting on my shoulder. I didn't move her. I just sat there, quietly watching the scenery fly by. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Ethan, it's Ava. Can we meet? I deleted it without a second thought. When we got off the bus, Sarah woke up, her face a little flushed. Sorry about that. I conked out. No problem. When I got back to my apartment, there was a package sitting by the door. I opened it. It was from Ava. Inside were our wedding photos and a few other old keepsakes. There was also a letter. Ethan, things aren't going well here in Austin. Chris, never mind. I know I have no right to say any of this. I just wanted to tell you that I regret it. I threw everything in the trash. The next day at work, the company landed a huge account, designing the annual marketing strategy for a major corporation. My boss put me in charge. Ethan, this is a big one. You think you can handle it? Don't worry, boss. I'll get my all. For the next month, I practically lived at the office. Sarah often stayed late with me, bringing me coffee and snacks. You don't have to stay so late, I told her. I don't have anything else to do. Besides, 2 heads are better than 1, she said with a smile. When the proposal was finally done, the client was thrilled and signed a contract on the spot. The boss was so happy he announced bonuses for everyone on the team. At the celebration dinner, everyone had a few drinks. Sarah was a lightweight, and after 2 glasses of wine, she was already tipsy. I'll take you home, I said, helping her up. No, I'm fine, I can't. She never finished the sentence before getting sick. I rushed her to the restroom. After she was done, she leaned against me, mumbling, Ethan, why are you so good to me? Because you're good to me, too. She suddenly looked up at me. If I told you I liked you, would you think I was being forward? I froze. She continued, I noticed you the first day you moved in. You were always alone, and you looked so lonely. I just wanted to make you feel a little better. Sarah, you're drunk. I'm not drunk, she said, pushing me away and stumbling toward the exit. I ran after her, but she had already hailed a cab. Sarah, she glanced back at me, tears glistening in her eyes. I'm sorry. Just forget I said anything. The taxi drove off, leaving me standing on the sidewalk, my mind a complete mess. The next day, Sarah called in sick. I texted to see if she was okay. She replied that she just wasn't feeling well. She didn't come to work for 3 days. I bought some fruit and went to check on her. It took a long time for her to answer the door. Without makeup, she looked pale and tired. What are you doing here? I came to see how you were. These last few days. I'm fine, I just needed some space, she said, taking the fruit. Thanks. About that night. What night? I was drunk. I don't remember a thing, she said with a forced smile. I knew she was avoiding it, but I couldn't bear the thought of losing someone who had been so kind to me. Sarah, after my divorce, I didn't think I deserved to be happy again. But since I met you, I've started to feel like there's hope. She stared at me, speechless. I'm not a romantic guy, and I'm not good with words. But I want you to know, the time I've spent with you has been the happiest I've been in a long time. Tears streamed down her face. Are you serious? Absolutely. She threw her arms around me and cried like a child. We were together. Sarah was even more wonderful than I had imagined. She was gentle and caring, bringing me coffee when I worked late and sitting with me in comfortable silence when I was in a bad mood. Our colleagues all said we were a perfect match. You're a lucky guy, Ethan. Sarah's one of a kind, Leo said admiringly. I smiled and nodded, my heart full of gratitude. That weekend, I took Sarah to the beach along Lake Michigan. She ran along the sand like a kid, her laughter as clear as a bell. Ethan, look, she shouted, holding up a beautiful seashell. It's perfect. As the sun began to set, we sat on a large rock, watching the waves. Sarah, thank you. For what? For making me believe in love again. She leaned her head on my shoulder. I should be thanking you for being willing to give me a chance. Just then my phone rang. It was Ava. Ethan, I'm back in town. Can we meet? I have something really important to tell you. I hung up and turned my phone off. Who was that? Sarah asked. A telemarketer. She didn't press the issue, just continued to lean against me as we watched the water. But Ava didn't give up. She tried to contact me every way she could, even showing up at my office. I had just gotten out of a meeting when the receptionist told me I had a visitor. When I walked in the lobby, I saw Ava standing there. I hadn't seen her in 3 months. She was much thinner, her face etched with exhaustion. What are you doing here? Ethan, can we please go somewhere and talk? We have nothing to talk about. Please, just 10 minutes. Looking at her pleading eyes, I relented. The coffee shop downstairs. 10 minutes. As soon as we sat down, she got straight to the point. Chris and I broke up. That's your business. He scammed me. He talked about starting a business together, then took all my money and disappeared. I frowned. And, Ethan, I was wrong. I was so wrong. I've spent every day for the last 3 months regretting leaving you. It's too late. I know you still love me. Otherwise, you wouldn't have. Ava, I interrupted her. I have a girlfriend now. Please stop interfering in my life. She was taken aback. A girlfriend? So soon. 3 months isn't soon. And besides, it's none of your business. It's that woman, isn't it? The one I saw at your office? Her voice grew frantic. Ethan, you're just doing this to spite me. Enough. I stood up. Ava, not everyone is like you. I'm with Sarah because she's good to me and because I like her. You should go. Don't ever come looking for me again. With that, I turned and walked away. I could hear her sobbing behind me. Ethan, you'll regret this. She doesn't deserve you. I didn't look back. When I got back to the office, Sarah was waiting for me. Where'd you go? Downstairs to get a coffee. I lied. She looked at me for a moment, but didn't say anything. That evening, as we were walking home from work, she asked casually, "The woman who came to see you today, that was your ex-wife, wasn't it?" I stopped walking. You knew. The receptionist told me, she said with a small smile. It's okay. I trust you. Sarah, you don't have to explain. I get it. She took my hand. Come on, let's go home and make dinner. In that moment, I was overwhelmed with love and gratitude for her. Life moved on peacefully, and my relationship with Sarah grew stronger every day. The business was booming, and I was promoted to department manager, leading a small team of my own. Congratulations, Ethan, my colleagues cheered. I'll be counting on all of you, I said with a smile. Sarah made a special dinner to celebrate and even bought a cake. This is a big deal, I said. Of course it is. My boyfriend got a promotion, she said proudly. As we were cutting the cake, she said with a twinkle in her eye, I have some good news to share too. What is it? Our company is partnering with Apex Dynamics. This is a massive project. Apex Dynamics was one of the biggest names in the industry. Landing a partnership with them was a huge win. That's amazing, a double celebration. We toasted, full of excitement for the future. The next day, my boss called a meeting to announce the partnership. This collaboration is a game changer for us. I'm putting together a dedicated team, and Ethan, I want you to lead it. You got it, boss. After the meeting, I started assembling my team and drafting our initial strategy. A week later, the team from Apex Dynamics came to our office. Their group was led by a woman in her early 30s, impeccably dressed with an air of authority. Hello, I'm Julia Reed, Project Director for Apex Dynamics. The moment we shook hands, I froze. Julia Reed, a classmate from college, a woman who had relentlessly pursued me. She clearly recognized me too, but her expression remained professional. Mr. Clark, it's been a while. Ms. Reed, good to see you. I did my best to stay professional through the meeting. Julia asked a lot of sharp, challenging questions, but I was able to answer every one. After the meeting, she found me alone. I never expected to run into you here. It's a small world, I said. Are you free tonight, for old time's sake? Sorry, I have plans. She smiled, still playing hard to get. Fine, business first. I look forward to working with you. Once the project officially kicked off, Julia and I started seeing a lot more of each other. She was professional, competent, and incredibly sharp. We worked well together. But I think Sarah sensed something. You've been so busy lately, working every night, she commented. The Apex project has a tight deadline. That woman, Julia, have you met before? I didn't hide it. We were in college together. Oh, she didn't ask anything else. A month later, the project reached a critical phase. I was working late one night, and it was just me and Julia left in the office. You've changed a lot, Ethan, she said suddenly. People change. Remember college? You were always so serious. I chased you for a whole year, and you never said yes. That was a long time ago. She gave a bitter laugh. Yeah, it was. I heard you got married, divorced, and now I have a girlfriend. She looked at me intently. She must be very happy. I'm a lucky one. I got home very late that night. Sarah was already asleep. There was a note on the table. Dinner's in the microwave. Don't forget to eat. Looking at her handwriting, my heart felt warm. The next day, Julia announced a 3-day site visit was necessary. Ethan, you have to be there. There are technical details that only you can handle. I had no choice but to agree. Before I left, Sarah helped me pack. Come back soon. 3 days tops. I'll be waiting. The first day of the business trip, we hit a snag. There was a problem with our hotel booking, and they only had one room left. I can find another place. I started. Forget it. It's already so late, Julia said, waving her hand dismissively. The room has 2 beds. We'll make it work for one night and sort it out tomorrow. I hesitated, but finally agreed. That evening, she suggested we get a drink. You worked hard today. Let's unwind. At the hotel bar, She drank a lot. You know, Ethan, all these years, I've never been able to forget you. Julia, you've had too much to drink. I'm not drunk, she insisted, her eyes red. Why didn't you ever give me a chance back then? Was I not good enough? It wasn't that. We just weren't a good fit. What about now? She suddenly grabbed my hand. Can you give me a chance now? I pull my hand away. Julia, I have a girlfriend. So break up with her. I'm more successful than she is. I have more money. That's enough, I said, standing up. You're drunk. I'm taking you back to the room. On the way back, she kept talking nonsense. Ethan, I really like you. Why can't you just see me? I got her settled in her bed, then went and slept on the couch in the hotel lobby. The next morning, she woke up and acted as if nothing had happened. All business again. The site visit went smoothly, and on the afternoon of the third day, we headed back. At the airport, I called Sarah. I'll be home tonight. That's great. I'm making your favorite. After I hung up, Julia said, she's really good to you. Yeah, she is. Ethan, I'm sorry about last night. From now on, let's just be friends. Okay. Well, I got home. Sarah had a feast prepared. You must be starving. Eat up. During dinner, she asked about the trip, and I told her everything that had happened. This Julia, she's interested in you, isn't she? That's all in the past. She nodded. I trust you. The project moved forward without a hitch, and Julia remained strictly professional. 3 months later, the project concluded successfully. At the wrap party, everyone from both companies was in high spirits. This partnership was a tremendous success. We hope to have more opportunities to work together in the future, the CEO of Apex said. Absolutely, our boss beamed. After the party, Julia found me. Ethan, thank you. This project was very important to me. We both benefited. Take care. She extended her hand. You too. We shook hands, turned, and walked away. On the way home, I got a text from Sarah. Is the party over? Just finished. Be home soon. I have a surprise for you. I opened the door to our apartment to find the room lit with candles, a bottle of wine on the table. What's all this? Sarah emerged from the bedroom, wearing a beautiful dress. Ethan, today is our 1-year anniversary. I froze. I had completely forgotten. I'm so sorry. It's okay. I know you've been busy. She pulled me down to sit. I got you a present. It was a watch with a simple, elegant design. Do you like it? I love it. Thank you. I have one more gift, she said slyly. What? She blushed and leaned in a whisper in my ear. I want to marry you. I just stood there, stunned into silence. Seeing my lack of reaction, Sarah's face fell. Was that too soon, if you're not ready? No. I quickly took her hands. I was just shocked. Sarah, are you sure you want to marry a divorced man? I want to marry Ethan Clark, regardless of his past. At that moment, my eyes welled up. You goofball, I said, my voice thick with emotion. Of course I'll marry you. She threw her arms around my neck, crying tears of joy. The next day, we went to meet her parents. They lived in the suburbs. Both were retired teachers, kind and well-read. Ethan, Sarah has told us all about you, her mother said warmly. You're a good young man. We feel comfortable in trusting our daughter to you. Thank you, ma'am. I promise I'll always take care of Sarah. Her father was more direct. We don't mind that you've been divorced. Everyone has a past. What's important is the here and now and the future. The dinner was wonderful, and I was deeply touched by their open-mindedness. On the way home, Sarah linked her arm through mine. My parents really like you. They're just good people. What about your parents? I was quiet for a moment. I'm an orphan. I grew up in the foster care system. She stopped, then hugged me tightly. I'm sorry, I didn't know. It's okay. I'm used to it. Well, she said softly, from now on, my parents are your parents. That simple sentence made my throat tighten. We started planning the wedding. We didn't want anything extravagant, just something warm and intimate. And that's when Ava reappeared. I was at the mall looking at rings when she seemed to materialize out of nowhere. Buying a ring, getting married again. I frowned. That's none of your business. Ethan, are you really going to be like this? After 10 years together, you could just forget it all? You're the one who forgot first. She bit her lip. What if I told you I regret it? What if I begged you for another chance? Ava, don't you get it? We're over. It's because of that woman, isn't it? What did she give you? Money. Or, she gave me a home. I cut her off. A real oma. With that, I turned and walked away. She yelled after me, Ethan, You'll regret this. I didn't turn back. Some paths, once you've gone down them, you can never return. The wedding was set for 2 months later. Sarah kept telling me she had a surprise planned, acting all mysterious. At work, our success with the Apex project led to a flood of new business. The boss was planning to expand and wanted me to head the new department. Keep up the great work, Ethan. The company will take care of you. Everything was finally going right. Until the day I got a phone call. Is this Ethan Clark? This is City General Hospital. A Ms. Ava Mitchell was in a car accident, and you're listed as her emergency contact. By the time I got to the hospital, she was out of critical condition. Looking at her pale form in the hospital bed, I felt a confusing mix of emotions. The first thing she said when she woke up was, "You came. Don't read into it. I know," she said with a bitter smile. "Ethan, I think I'm going to die. The doctor said you're going to be fine, but I don't feel like I can go on." She stared at the ceiling. "What's the point of living without you?" "Ava, don't talk like that. Promise me one thing," she said, turning her head to look at me. "If I die, remember to visit my grave." "You're not going to die." She smiled, a sad, desolate smile. I stayed for a little while and left some cash for her before I left. "What's this for?" "Your medical bills. Consider it a final gesture for old time's sake." On the way home, my heart felt heavy. Sarah noticed something was off. "What's wrong?" I hesitated, but then told her what happened. After listening, she hugged me. "You did the right thing. It's good to have closure." "You're not mad." "Why would I be mad? It shows you're a decent person, and that's one of the things I love about you." Ava was discharged from the hospital and disappeared from my life for good. Our wedding went ahead as planned. The sun was shining, and Sarah, in her white wedding dress, looked like an angel. "Ethan, do you take Sarah to be your wife?" "I do." "Sarah, do you take Ethan to be your husband?" "I do." As we exchanged rings, I saw tears of joy glistening in her eyes. Many of our friends and colleagues came to the reception. Julia was there, too. She gave us a generous gift. "I wish you both a lifetime of happiness." "Thank you. Sarah's a wonderful girl. You'd better take good care of her." "I will." She smiled and walked away, her departure graceful. My boss came over with a glass of champagne. "Ethan, a new marriage and a new career. Congratulations on both." "Thanks, boss. Keep up the good work. I'm thinking of making you vice president next year." I was floored by the news. Sarah, standing beside me, beamed. "My husband's moving up in the world." "It's all thanks to the team," I said modestly. After the bustling reception, we went back to our new home. "You must be tired," I said. "Not at all. I'm so happy," she replied, leaning against me. "Ethan, we're going to be this happy forever, right?" "Of course." For our honeymoon, we went to Hawaii. Sun, sand, and brilliant blue ocean. Sarah ran along the beach like a child, and I chased after her. "Wait for me. Come and get me." When I finally caught her, we both tumbled onto the sand, laughing as we looked up at the clear sky. "Ethan, I wish it could be like this forever." "It will be. We have a lifetime." She rolled over on top of me. "You'd better keep that promise. A promise is a promise." On the third day of our vacation, Sarah suddenly felt sick. "It was probably the seafood from last night," she said, looking pale. I rushed her to a local clinic. When the results came back, the doctor smiled. "Congratulations, your wife is pregnant." We were both stunned. "Really?" Sarah couldn't believe it. "Yes, absolutely. She's about 6 weeks along." After we left the clinic, Sarah was still in a daze. "I'm going to be a mom." "Yeah, and I'm going to be a dad." She suddenly hugged me tight. "Ethan, we're having a baby." "Yeah, we are. Our baby." For the rest of the trip, I was extra careful with her. "Don't move, I'll get it. I'm not that fragile." "Nope. The doctor said the first trimester is critical." She just smiled and shook her head. "You're overreacting." As soon as we got home, we shared the good news with her parents. They were overjoyed. "That's wonderful. We're going to be grandparents." "Mom, Dad, you should move in with us. It'll be easier to help take care of Sarah." Of course, we'll pack right away." With my in-laws' help, Sarah's pregnancy went smoothly. I worked harder than ever, wanting to provide the best life for my wife and our child-to-be. Soon after, I was promoted to vice president, and my salary doubled. "My husband is amazing," Sarah said, celebrating with me, her baby bump prominent. "It's all for you and the little one. Do you think it's a boy or a girl?" Either one is perfect as long as they're healthy. On the day our baby was born, I was a nervous wreck, pacing outside the delivery room. My father-in-law patted my shoulder. "Don't worry, son. Sarah is strong. Everything will be fine." 2 hours later, a nurse came out. "Congratulations, it's a healthy boy. Mother and son are both doing well." I rushed into the room and saw Sarah, exhausted but radiant. "You did it, sweetheart. Look," she whispered. "Our son." He was tiny and wrinkled, but to me, he was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen. "He looks like you," Sarah said. "He'd be better looking if he looked like you." After she recovered, Sarah was back to her vibrant self. We named our son Owen, hoping his future would be full of promise. Life with a baby was busier, but also richer and more fulfilling. I'd work all day and come home to help with Owen. It was tiring, but seeing his smile made all the exhaustion melt away. The first time he said "Dada," I was so moved I almost cried. "You did it. Say it again, buddy. Dada, dada." Sarah laughed beside me. "Look at you, so excited." The company continued to grow, and my career flourished. 3 years later, I was made president of the company. "Congratulations, Mr. Clark," my employees cheered. "Thank you, everyone. I'm counting on all of you to keep up the great work." A successful career, a happy family. I felt like the luckiest man in the world. Until the day I ran into Ava at the grocery store. 3 years had passed. She had changed a lot. She was dressed plainly and looked worn down, a shadow of her former self. She saw me and froze, then gave a bitter smile. "Ethan, hello. You look like you're doing well." "I am. And you?" "Me?" She laughed wryly. "Do I look like I'm doing well?" I didn't know what to say. Just then, Owen ran over. "Daddy, Mommy says it's time to go home." Ava's gaze fell on Owen, her expression complicated. "Is he your son?" "Yes. He's beautiful. Looks just like you did as a kid." Sarah came over, pushing the shopping cart. "Ready to go? We need to get home and make dinner." She saw Ava and offered a polite smile. "Hello." Ava managed a weak smile in return. "Hi. Well, we should get going," I said, picking Owen up. "Wait," Ava called out. "Ethan, are you happy?" I looked at my son in my arms, then at my wife by my side. "Very happy." Her eyes turned red. "That's good. I hope you'll always be happy." With that, she turned and hurried away. On the drive home, Sarah didn't ask any questions. Later that night, after we put Owen to bed, she asked softly, "Do you ever have any regrets?" "Regret what?" "If back then." I cut her off. "There are no ifs. Meeting you is the best thing that ever happened to me." She smiled, snuggling closer. "Me too." The moonlight streamed through the window, filling the quiet room with a gentle glow. The past was the past. Cherishing what I had now was all that mattered. Time flew by. Soon, Owen was in kindergarten. On his first day of school, he clung to my hand, refusing to let go. "Daddy, don't leave. I'll be back this afternoon to pick you up. You have to listen to your teacher, okay?" "Pinky promise." "Pinky promise." Watching his small figure walk into the classroom, I felt a mix of pride and sadness. Sarah took my hand. "Come on, stop staring. We'll be late for work. Our son is growing up." "I know. It's happening so fast." The company was preparing to go public, and, as president, I was swamped. I often worked late into the night, getting home after my wife and son were already asleep. Sarah never complained. She always left a light on for me and a warm meal on the table. "I'm sorry I've been so busy lately." "Don't be silly. I understand. Once the IPO is done, things will calm down. After this is all over, I'll take you guys on a real vacation. Owen would love that. He keeps asking to go to the ocean." After 6 months of grueling work, the company successfully went public. At the celebration party, the founder and chairman made a special point to thank me. "Ethan, this wouldn't have been possible without you. You were instrumental. It was a team effort. Don't be so modest. As a token of my appreciation, I'm giving you 5% of the company's shares. You're a partner now." The announcement stunned everyone in the room. At the current market value, 5% was worth tens of millions. I rushed home to tell Sarah the news. She jumped for joy. "That's incredible. I knew you could do it. Now we can give Owen an even better life." "Not just Owen," she said with a mysterious smile. "What do you mean?" She handed me an ultrasound picture. "I'm pregnant again." "Are you serious?" "The doctor says it's a girl." I swept her up in my arms and spun her around. This is amazing, a boy and a girl. Put me down, you're making me dizzy. We stayed up late that night, talking. We talked about names for our daughter, about our future plans, about our dreams. Ethan, what's your biggest wish right now? She asked. I thought for a moment. For all of you to be healthy and happy. Nothing else matters. That's it. The simplest wishes are often the hardest to achieve. She rested her head on my chest. Mine is even simpler. It's just to be with you always. 7 months later, our daughter was born. We named her Joy, hoping her life would be full of it. Owen adored his new sister, checking on her constantly. She's so tiny. You were that small once, too. I'll protect her. Seeing his serious expression, Sarah and I looked at each other and smiled. After going public, the company grew rapidly, and my work became even more demanding. But I made sure to carve out time for my family. Weekends were for parks and museums, and holidays were for trips. Daddy, when can we go to the beach again? Owen asked. This summer. Yay. Can Joy come too? Of course she can. Sarah smiled. We'll have to pack a lot of things for her. We were a happy family of 4. One evening on my way home from work, I was surprised to see Julia Reed standing outside my building. Long time no see, she said with a smile. Julia, what brings you to this part of town? Just passing through and thought I'd see an old friend. I heard you're doing big things, taking the company public. Just got lucky. It's not luck, she said, pausing for a moment. I'm actually here to say goodbye. I'm moving overseas next month for a new opportunity. Wow, I wish you all the best. Thanks. She looked at me, a genuine warmth in her eyes. Ethan, I'm really glad to see you're doing so well. You'll find the right person for you, too. She smiled. I'll take that as a good omen. After we said our goodbyes, I went upstairs. Sarah was helping Owen with his homework, while Joy played in her baby's seat. You're home. Go wash up, dinner's ready. Okay. At the dinner table, Owen excitedly told me about his day at school. Daddy, my teacher praised me today. That's great, buddy. What for? She said my handwriting is really neat. Sarah ruffled his hair. Keep up the good work. This ordinary, warm, everyday life, this was exactly what I had always wanted. 5 years later, Owen was in 3rd grade, a bright and cheerful student. Joy was in preschool, a lively, sweet girl who was the light of our family. I had started my own consulting firm. It wasn't massive, but it was stable and growing. Sarah had left her job to focus on raising the kids. Do you ever feel like you gave up too much? I asked her once. Not at all. Being here to watch our children grow up is the greatest joy of my life. Her parents were still healthy and often helped us with the kids. Our home was always full of life and laughter. It was my 10th wedding anniversary with Sarah. I took the day off to surprise her. Honey, you're home early. Do you know what date it is? She paused. Then her eyes lit up. Our anniversary. This is for you, I said, handing her a small box. Inside was a necklace, engraved with the 4 names of our family members. It's beautiful. You like it? I love it. You're the best. That night, we went back to the restaurant where I had proposed. Time flies. It's already been 10 years, Sarah said wistfully. Yeah, a lot has happened in those 10 years. Any regrets? Why do you keep asking me that? I laughed, taking her hand. Marrying you is the one thing in my life I will never regret. Her eyes grew misty. Me too. Hey, no crying. This is a happy day. They're happy tears. On the way home, she linked her arm through mine. Ethan, should we have another baby? You want another one? MHM, while we're still young. We'd have to ask Owen and Joy what they think. When we got home, the kids were still awake. Mommy, Daddy, you're back. Joy yelled, running to me. Did you miss us? I asked, scooping her up. Yes. Owen came over. Dad, my teacher assigned a new essay today. The topic is my dad. Oh yeah, what are you going to write? I'm going to write that my dad is a hero. Sarah laughed. Why a hero? Because Dad is great at his job, and he always protects us. Hearing my son's earnest words filled my heart. Owen, Joy, your mom and I have a question for you, Sarah said. What is it? How would you feel about having a new baby brother or sister? The two of them looked at each other, then shouted in unison, yes. Really? Really? Then we'd have someone else to play with. Joy said excitedly. Owen nodded seriously. And I'll protect our new brother or sister. Seeing our 2 wonderful kids, Sarah and I looked at each other and smiled. A year later, our 3rd child was born, another boy. We named him Noah, hoping he would be a man of his word. With 3 children, our home was even more chaotic and joyful. It was hard work, but watching them grow up healthy and happy made every sacrifice worth it. And my company, the team I had trained, was now capable of running things independently, which allowed me to spend more time with my family. On weekends, we often took family trips. The park, the beach, the amusement park. Our laughter filled every place we went. Daddy, we're the happiest family in the world, right? Joy asked. Of course we are. Why? Because we all love each other very much. My children's simple words always managed to touch the deepest part of my heart. Late one night, Sarah was resting in my arms. Ethan, thank you for giving me such a beautiful life. You're the one who gave me a complete home. We'll be like this forever, right? Of course. Until we're old and gray. Outside, the stars were shining brightly. Inside, the house was filled with warmth and love. The past was like smoke, gone with the wind. Cherishing the present. That was the greatest happiness of all. The road of life is long, but having you by my side is all I'll ever need.